What's up, people? It is Monday, excuse me, February 20th, 2017. It is President's Day. In this house, it is not my President's Day this year. This would also be my grandmother's birthday, where she's still alive. I think she'd be about 100 today. She was a special woman. A bit of a personal update, but it involves music. And once again, for you new reviewers, I've been doing this for years. I've said it many times. I'll say it again. This is my house, my channel, and no one is telling me what to do. So you don't have to watch. It's just that simple. I'm not changing shit because of your comments. Okay? Jeez, it's almost like, you're dropping knowledge, and here come these people who can't hear it. A little frustration? You have to deal with this all the time. America is so stupid. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm saying if you can't see that it's important what I'm saying, especially about trying to help people with information, if you can't see that that's more important than talking about records, I want you to go away. Whoever you are. Okay, so I bet you knew I was going to do that, didn't you? Or maybe you didn't. If you've been watching my videos, I've done over 1,000, you have an idea. You should have some kind of an idea. Or maybe not. Anyway, so on a personal note regarding music, this weekend has been very eventful for me, and I want to share it with you. That's part of what this channel, I'm using it for, okay? So some of you know that I'm in several bands. And one of the bands that I'm in and almost wasn't in that really excites me is this improvisational jazz-based group called Chemicals. Chemicals started less than next month. The band will be a year old. We aren't even a year old, okay? But the band is really intense and dynamic. For a number of reasons with the personnel involved, there is really very little evidence of the band online. There are some clips, so if you go and search Chemicals, you'll see the few clips online. I've been trying to get the band to release a recording, and it's just really complicated with this group of people, but it's worth it because these guys are so good. Anyway, the local Nebraska body of that does a public honoring of the arts is called the Omaha Entertainment and Arts Awards. They had their ceremony last night. Chemicals had been nominated for, I thought we were nominated for Best New Artist, but it turns out we were nominated for Best Progressive Experimental Electronic Dance Music Artist. And even though I know we're good and obviously think that we deserve to win, I had no expectation. I've been nominated many times in many different ways, and I finally won last year, actually, in the category that Chemicals won. Best Progressive. I almost think that Omaha had to invent this so that they could acknowledge people like me, because Omaha is so non-progressive when it comes to music. But I'm super pleased that we've won, and I have won again. And so I want to share that with you. And I can't tell you the whole story about why I quit, but one thing I can tell you about it is it does have to do with a bit of a age gap in how people process emotions and talk about things. And I need to talk about things like this. And some young people have not been taught how to think well enough. They can't talk on this level. Okay, that's not a diss. That's a fact. Okay? And that's been one of the issues with the band. I've got to talk about things and have some clarity and things make sense and have some mutual respect. I'm not, so these kids are younger than my children that I'm playing with, most of them. So I must have respect, and when it's not happening because somebody is getting false information or they're drinking too much and allowing that to affect their judgment, I'm not going to be victimized by that. Does that give you enough information? So, really pleased, and hopefully as a result of the band winning this award, it will help the group to coalesce and work harder at coming together. Thought I'd take a moment before I talk a little bit about some records in my pile. I don't have anything new to show you, but I thought I would share with you that yes, I am a retired but licensed mental health professional, still licensed in the state of Nebraska, no longer nationally. That involves paying dues. So that tells you that it's not about whether or not you're qualified, it's whether or not you're willing to give us your fucking money like everything else, okay? Anyway, I have been recognized twice for my work statewide with the mentally ill as a community service worker and an advocate. And this is one of my awards for that. From the National Alliance of the Mentally Ill, Individual Community Supporter. These awards are just, a hollow recognition, but I show them because it has a meaning, whatever meaning we give it, but other people notice too. And because of the material world we live in, you have to show people stuff. So I'm showing you, okay? I have over 30 years experience. I do have something worth sharing as well as my knowledge about records. So once again, if you're not ready for both, you have the choice to keep watching or not, but you're not changing me. I was talking to, so this ties in with some other good news that happened this weekend. Played Tangerine Dream Stratosphere last night for the first time in probably decades. I've always liked the cover, but I've never really gotten really heavily into this particular album. Never really got that familiar with it. Well, I met with these filmmakers that I'm working with, writing the soundtrack for their upcoming movie Life After X. Honestly, they're based in Lincoln, so I've been working long distance and have been frustrated with the project because the movie has not been inspiring me. So I've been writing music, but I've been writing it after I shut the movie off. I was concerned that the music I was writing that they paid me for wasn't going to fit the bill. They were ecstatic with what I presented, over the roof. I'm getting paid more money. And one of the producers said that one of the pieces reminded him a lot of Stratosphere by Tangerine Dream. That's a nice compliment because I don't attempt to sound like people. Catch me, people. We all have the right to do our own agenda. Some people understand that. A lot of people don't. I'm here to tell you. Don't come here trying to tell me what to do. Because I'm not trying to tell you. You're out of pocket. You're out of line. I'm going to get stronger with that, okay? Because other people need to do this for themselves. Stop having people just set boundaries. You deserve it. This album is so good. I hadn't played it in so long that I probably played it 7 or 8 times yesterday. Not only on the album, but I pulled the CD where it had been remastered. Mahavishnu Orchestra, Visions of the Emerald Beyond. I saw them on this tour live with Jean-Luc Ponty and Narada Michael Walden. At the time, John McLaughlin had broken his foot, so he had to sit down and play. My goodness, it didn't diminish his intensity at all. It was incredible. This is a beautiful, spiritual, and awakened album. This is an album with consciousness. Something I like, something that is part of my problem with most of current music in general, is there is no consciousness. It's all about making money, and what it takes to make money is pretty evil. It's pretty low. Haven't played this yet, but I got it out to play. I might get it on today. Harvey Mandel, Cristo Redentor, American guitarist with a blues background. He was within Canned Heat for a while. I love his style of guitar playing. It is very bluesy, but it has a lot of soul. And interestingly, even though he's a blues-based player, his original stuff is more funky and soulful than bluesy, and that I like. And isn't that a great classic psychedelic album cover? Okay, so let me go to the ones. I have a pile sitting here I haven't gotten to yet. Let me share this with you, James Drummond, if you happen to watch. I've listened to this again. The Gnad, and it's coming through. It's dark. It's not. It's pretty. It's not a happy album, but I get it now. It is good, but it's like whoa, whoa. This is dark. Okay. Got into a conversation online with someone I don't actually know, but who follows me, who was dissing the new Sid Arthur, saying it was nothing compared to their first two albums, and was really rather, I thought, dismissive. And my response to him was, well, number one, I don't agree. And number two, you're trying to say that you know what these people should be doing with their music, and you're not them. I, as an artist, totally resent that crap. You know, if you're so good at saying what they're supposed to do, you get off your fucking ass and do it. I love this album. Don't be telling artists what to do. Do it yourself. Hadn't played these in a long time. I still have them more for nostalgia now, actually. I played some New Order. Thieves Like Us. Now, I'll tell you, in my old band Digital Sex, we covered New Order a lot. And I'm going to be blunt, and it's not going to be liked. I loved the music of New Order, and I thought it was kind of on the edge, but they couldn't sing. Now, Joy Division with Ian Curtis. Ian Curtis had a very compelling voice. Pulled me in. But when he died and Bernard Sumner took over, Bernard couldn't sing, never could sing. Don't even try to defend it to me, people. He can't sing. So the musical arrangements still are interesting. They've dated. This is Hurt, Thieves Like Us. But that man can't sing. And so as a result, the enjoyment I got out of them was more nostalgic by listening to the arrangements and how they had gone from being just a real basic guitar and bass band to using electronics and pushing everything ahead. New Order did that. I'll give them credit. I do like New Order. Joel Van Drugenbroek, the man who brought us Brain Ticket and has done a lot of library music and all kinds of music behind the scenes. This is one of his library music albums for Color Sound Library, Biomechanoid. Electronic, very impressionistic, with the H.R. Geiger artwork on the cover. Seek this one out, people. It's a trip. It's an electronic, bubbling, crazy trip of an album. Wonderful. Birmingham Sunday, pop psych band that the master tapes got damaged, and you hear it on here. It's a shame. The girl was only 16 when she made this album, which you can hear, which there's an appeal to that youthful, you just hear it, you know, it's just a girl, but she's singing with all this conviction. I love this album. Reminds me of a more hard, if that's the right word, Mamas and Papas, Birmingham Sunday. Really good. Really good. See what you get when you don't try to run my business? I'm doing my thing regardless, and I will keep doing this because that shit pisses me off. And the person that did it, I love you, okay? Probably if we met, we'd be good friends. But I'm just tired of how people just come and want to just tell you what you're doing. I left it up. I had a Trump supporter. I don't know who you are. Mad because I blocked him on Facebook. I'm not having Trump supporters in my friend group on Facebook. I'm being real up about it. The man does not care about me and my kind. He is not fit to be the president. There's nothing you can tell me to convince me otherwise because I'm a black man. I've been dealing with this double standard and injustice my entire life. I know exactly what kind of Trump is. He is not for me. And so the person coming here complaining that you don't practice what you preach, you dumped me off of Facebook, that's my choice. I do practice what I preach. I'm not tolerating this blindness coming from Trump supporters. That man is truly dangerous to the average person. I want no part of ignorance. That's what I call it, okay? Standing for Trump, you're standing for the continued, ongoing legacy of white privilege and double standards that are wrong and need to stop. And that's what that man stands for. He does not care about all people. Okay? I've said enough. And if you watch me, this ain't gonna change.